Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 147. That's right. Uh, we've been going for about 3 years now, and we're finally doing something different here.
Hold on. Let me get the YouTube or the
Yeah,
Twitch one
yeah,
live.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying that. This week in Destiny, we finally got that end of the season story log. It's not the end of the season, but kind of putting the cap on what's happened with Mara and Crow and Riven. We ended that up. I think Grandmasters are finally available now as a selection. Yep, they are. So you can go through and we can do all those whenever we choose.
Nice. That should be fun
be
with
wild.
the new format here.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So I believe that the Twitch is live, the YouTube is live.
Mhm.
So we're gonna try something a little different this week. Kind of came up last night in the group text. We haven't done the Star-Crossed Legend for the final Catalyst run yet. So we decided that we're going to play it while recording the podcast. However, you guys are in the pre-show, so you know what's going on. Whenever the actual show starts, we're not able to communicate whatsoever about the game that we're playing. So everything has to stay to where if you were to listen to, say, the audio version of the podcast, you would have no idea that we were playing in the background. We did think of a punishment. Anytime somebody makes a call out or talks about gameplay, they lose 500 glimmer out of their gambling corner monies. So the other thing that I thought might be cool would be if gambling corner, we'll do gambling corner at the start of the show, like maybe before we get to the update.
Okay.
And we will do like we'll say most deaths or something like that for the
How about just whoever dies the most at the end, they lose 1,000.
okay sounds like a plan. And so that's what we're going to do. We'll frame it in a way after the intro, well, after Link plays the intro music, we'll get into gambling corner and then go from there. So full disclosure, this is probably not going to go any way like we hope that it does, and it's probably going to be gross, but that's all right.
We've decided to change it up a little bit, after 3 years.
Yeah, well, you know what? Not only that, we got 6 months of gap to fill. We should be building into, we should be like bounty prepping and everything for the expansion about to come out. So this isn't on us.
True.
All right. Whenever I click the button, Jared, you can launch us in. Actually,
Wait.
let me grab 2 bottles of water real fast.
Okay. All right. Chad, I'm actually a little bit nervous about this, how this is going to go. I do see myself screwing up a lot here. And mainly the call outs of like what order to shoot things in. I feel like that's going to be.
Oh man,
Yep.
that's going to be the hardest one.
You gotta
But
pay attention.
there are, there's been def runs of many of the raids. So if they can run Vow the Disciple without comms,
Yeah.
I think we can do it.
I haven't seen that. What do they do? Like some kind of emote? I mean, no text chat either.
I don't know how they did it. All I know is that I think it's recorded. It's up on YouTube somewhere, I believe. But it was a full raid of deaf players that went through Vow of the Disciple.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's the one raid where you have, because there's the 40 different call outs you have to make.
Yep.
So they gotta either they have like a stream deck on the side where they can just hit a button real quick, where they go in a room and they're like, bam, worm, bam, heart, bam. Like, I don't know how they did it, but you know,
with how
players have done
powerful
it, so.
we are now, I bet Val Disciple is like in that encounter 3, so much easier to get through.
Yeah, survivability's definitely gone up. And with people with Strand being able to fly around during the nut room with the stairs,
oh my,
I don't think it'll be much of an issue.
Yeah. Yep.
Because the hardest part was traversal for most people. Like, I can't get you up, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
So now it's like, well, just have a hunter throw a tether point in the middle, and then people can fly all over the place without having to worry about anything. Oh man.
All right. 101 reasons why we're about to beat this right here. So. All right. Everybody understands the rules. I'm very much looking forward to this, but I very much expect it to be terrible for the viewers. So sorry.
No, I think the viewers will enjoy it.
No, the viewers are gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the listeners are gonna.
I bet that.
But I've been saying we should do something like this with a dungeon for a long time.
You're right.
Yep.
So I mean, it is a legend, so it's going to be markedly harder than just running it regular. But
so we should ask: Are we allowed to do chat, text chat?
You think you can do that? You think you could type in the text chat and look at that without breaking? Because yes, I want that. Yeah, I'm fine with that, as long as it's not a verbal, out loud, thing.
Okay.
Then I don't think that's much of an issue.
That's good. That way,
because
chat can do that whenever he's doing what we got to shoot something or go get a chest or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I could just type in "follow me." It wouldn't be much of an issue.
Follow me.
The good news is that
did you ever play Oddworld? Those games?
No. They don't duplicate the animals for the calls for the mission. So you don't have to say circle fish or 8 snake or anything like that. So you can say just the animal.
So the other thing, if we beat this during the show, we go straight into a Warlord's Ruin.
Oh.
It's unlikely we beat it, right? I mean, I understand that, but
okay. Warlords. Okay. All right.
All right. I am hitting the button. Eyes up, Guardians. We are live for episode 147 of the Conqueror's Corner podcast. Today is Thursday, January the 11th. I am the Destiny bad boy, not Ryan Fox, and I am here with my fire team, who all of you CCBs know by now. Jared?
Hey, everyone. We have a quick hot fix that came out. Maybe not even hot fix, but it's just an update that came out. So Bungie changed up a couple of things for PvP and some other PvE things that I don't think too many people was happy about.
And the chronicler himself, Chato Cero.
We definitely are very excited about the lore that came out for the quote unquote finale of the season. And our boy is no longer in his spot in the helm. We'll talk about that a little more later.
Praise God. But as a reminder, if you're watching us on YouTube or Twitch, thank you. This would be a good week to start watching, in my opinion. Don't forget, you can take us on the road via Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast services. Make sure you subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, click the bell, turn on notifications, yada, yada, yada. Follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Send us Bungie friend requests so we can play games together. And join the Discord server. We're always looking for stuff to do. So we do have some things to get into. A little bit of a different order this week with our topics. But before we get into all of that, let's listen to our intro music. That is brought to you by everybody's favorite Link, who you can find on Twitter at LinkOfTimeG. Chato 139 on the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's for the people that just watch and don't listen.
I should have joined back.
Yep, I'm in here.
Yeah,
I see
there it is.
squigs.
Okay.
In the middle of a refresh, I think, maybe. Another one.
You're not even. Oh, there you go.
Allow
see you
audio
there.
playback. I'm not. What in the world? Bad things.
I see you. You're green on my screen.
So on my screen, there's no hand holding or nothing.
I had to expand mine out to see it. Yeah.
That's what I had to do too. You right? Clicking the button. Wow, Link. Awesome job. Thank you. Jared?
Yeah, so patch notes came out, and get ready for it. There was a bunch of PvP changes. And like most of you all probably listen to us, that's what you're here for, right? Is PvP talk. However, I'm not going too much into it, but basically there's every playlist that there's available is they did an update to it, but the main one was Checkmate, and Checkmate was hand cannons like kind of ruled it with time to kill, and Bungie was like, we want to bring other weapons in line with hand cannons because, as we've talked about many times, hand cannons rule PvP, and it is Destiny in itself. So that's that 140 hand cannon TTK, which is like 0.8, and they brought everything in line with that. Now, Root of Nightmares, if you're still running that, trying to knock out those adept weapons, they're now going to be on a knockout system, and you can get those done more efficiently. Warlord's Ruin, if you're going for that solo flawless and you get to that final boss and you're thinking you can jump off of that final stand and make your way back up and be safe and get that kill, it's no longer the case. There's a kill wall now, and you have to finish final stand like the way it was intended on that tower.
Dang, I didn't get my solo flawless in beforehand.
Yeah, this makes me think I got to
Very
do
upset.
it on a warlock now.
Just for the well, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the survivability of the Titan plus with the ignitions that keep destroying the eyes is definitely a reason to do Titan still, but the well is just unbelievable. So
Yeah, wells are good. They've been good for a while.
When did your second come out?
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
I don't know. The Root of Nightmare raid weapons, that's something that I would maybe look into just because like forbearance is pretty good, but
Yeah.
I'm not that concerned about it.
Well, most people
I do know that.
crafting, right?
Yeah, and I think that kind of at this point, like I know we talked about this. This season is going to be our SEAL Team 3. Whenever we go back and get our seals, for some people that don't have them all completed yet, so maybe we'll pick some up during that stuff. But that's about the only reason. I wouldn't do it just for it personally.
no, I mean there's lots of things. Like I think I said last pod, we're gonna fire up the divinitizers again and do a bunch of stuff. We got a lot of months, lots of raids that people need stuff in, and I need seals in. So I'm more than happy to bring more people along to also join that adventure. It's gonna be a tough but fun time, for sure.
Yeah, I'm actually quite looking forward to it. I think some of it's going to be annoying, but I don't think any of it will be overly difficult at this point.
Yeah, I think some of it's going to show like how easy some of the past stuff was compared to now.
Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, it doesn't need to be hard forever. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
I'm cool with that. I mean, it was hard for a year. Like how long does it need to remain difficult before people like kind of freak out about it?
Sure. All right, next up, Peacekeepers. They got nerfed basically by 50%. Half of the mobility that it gives you with the SMG, half of the readiness speed, half of reload speed, half the AE, all of it, 50% of how good they used to be in PvP. And then Thorn also got a bit of a nerf with its catalyst bonuses. It was giving you 20 range and 10 stability. Now it's going to give you 15 range, 5 stability, and 5 AE. But it still keeps its
How do you-
all of its PvE.
I saw a lot of people complaining about that, like on some of the social media groups and things I'm in. They didn't seem real thrilled, but
It's 5 range.
doesn't have.
You know, it's
Yeah. I don't know. You know how people are. The slightest thing goes off and they act like it's the biggest thing that's ever happened in the game.
Well, I don't think that there's that many Thorn users. I think that's the only thing to quote unquote bitch about in this latest one. This latest patch note, because we haven't had like any communication from Bungie in what over a month now. Like,
It was like
article-wise?
the mid-teens of December, like December 14th, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was.
all right. That is it for the patch notes of this week. Now, we did get the final seasonal mission and a cutscene of what's going on. We got the last egg for Riven. We delivered it. We went and made the 15th wish. And Riven held up her in the bargain and got us a portal to wherever the witness is inside the Traveler. Chad, like,
So
go ahead.
So her wish, she basically gave us like no strings attached, right? Did I understood that correctly, Shadow?
Wait.
Like-
what?
Like the monkey paw thing, like she didn't like screw us over or whatever, like with the
She-
wish.
Well, we used the wish wall, so there was less of a chance of that happening. But also, since we did help her, she decided not to shenanigan that one as much as could have been. What she said, I can't remember which week. It was like week 5 or 6, where she said she was going to do exactly what she said in
Yeah.
the wish. So that was good. But it was definitely wild. Because there was lots of dialogue that happened this week. Riven talking about what it would have been like had Mara trusted her and she trusted Mara. They could have been friends. What kind of world would that have been? And she said, well, there's your wish. Crow's there. Mara feels the heartbeat. Everything's all good and kosher and wrapped up with a nice little bow, and Riven goes back to sleep. It was pretty neatly tied up for an Ahamkara wish being granted of that scale, for sure.
Do you feel like it was
Did
forced?
not expect that.
Like, there's like, we're going to tie up this loose end. This is what we're going to do.
Yep,
Mm.
that's kind of what I was getting to. Like there were everything went too smooth, and I don't know. I think I would have preferred that we got
There'd be a hiccup.
like we got stabbed in the back a little bit, or something unintended happened, or
Well, again,
like
like
that.
I said earlier, it is a quote unquote finale. I mean, it's as final as you can get. We're still I don't know. I think I said it earlier. I don't know if earlier in the season if we're gonna send Crow in and that's the finale and we won't get any update from Osiris until the expansion drops, or if there's gonna be a finale where Osiris is like, I did it. Here's the connection.
Mm.
I'm gonna prep Mara. We have one last thing we need you to do. And then we're gonna be prepping, kind of a thing. So I think because right now Osiris is doing a bunch of research into making sure the connection between Mara and Crow is managed so that we can actually use it as a bridge.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know if there's going to be like an extra finale thing where we see what's happening and then they do it, or they wait until the final shape drops and then Osiris is like, I've done it, and then we just go in. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, I know.
like it is nice and neat with a bow, but there could be a twist.
Yeah, I feel like if we didn't know that like the story was wrapping up in like 6 months, I feel like I would expect there to be a twist, but I just have no. At this point, like we kind of have to wrap stuff up as opposed to being able to do the twists and all that fun stuff. Because let's face it, a lot of people's biggest complaint with Destiny is that like nothing's wrapped up, everything's a loose end, that whole thing. I know I see a lot of complaints about that whenever I like look online and things like that.
Yeah, I see some of that because there's always just purely world building and never like we got to keep them playing, right?
Yeah, like there's never the big payoff. There's never like the big end game moment. It's just like building, and then nothing. Like I'm still kind of a little bummed out that because I know that there's not going to be anything like about the 9 likely in the final shape. So that kind of bums me out. I've always thought they were very interesting. And really the most we got about them was in like the 30th anniversary pack, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's something they want to keep as another storyline. They're not ready to close that one up yet.
Yeah, I think that'll be something that can persist into like our next solar system or whatever. Like I'm sure that's kind of their thoughts. But, you know, that's fine. You got to have stuff that connects 1 to 2 and 2 to, I assume, 3 at some point, whatever they decide to title it.
Yeah.
Bungie's world, we're just living in it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. All right, that's kind of it for the weekly update this week. That's kind of everything that's went on in game and the talk around it. Next up is next week we're also getting a TWID finally, so we should be able to.
Ooh, yep.
That's something else.
First
So,
TWID of the year.
What do you think? What are you expecting TWID-wise next week? Like just a little baby TWID or something substantial?
A little like updated, whatever these like wishes they're gonna call them that we're supposed to get in a couple months.
Okay.
That's right. We are getting a little go fast update style thing, aren't we?
Yeah, just like something to do to help bridge the gap a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. While we're going
Yeah,
SEAL Team 3.
SEAL Team 3. We need 3 more so we can be SEAL Team 6, but what do you do?
All right, that takes us
right.
to the start of it all.
Takes us to what?
The start of it all. How we all got started.
Well, let's hit gambling corner first.
Oh, okay.
While we're going here, I forgot to type that in there, so that's my bad. So, gambling corner, one of my personal favorite segments, one that we've kind of slacked on just due to us not having much time to play together. So the part with gambling corner, each season, all three of us start with 10,000 glimmer. Let's make believe glimmer. And with this glimmer, we have to make a bet each week. And the winner at the end of the season is the person that has the most glimmer. So each week we have a winner. Each season, at the end of each season, we crown a winner. And if at any point you lose so bad that you become bankrupt and your glimmer bank, your little glimmer piggy bank becomes empty, you must then delete a weapon, kind of like a sacrifice of sorts, of a weapon out of your vault. And the other two players get to determine the value of that. So, for example, just a normal old weapon, like nothing crazy. You're not gonna get much value out of that. A weapon that you can no longer acquire, or a weapon with like a high kill count, something like that. That's gonna net you more buyback glimmer whenever you come back in. Whenever you buy back, the value of the weapon is anywhere from like 1,000 to 10,000 glimmer. Hasn't happened a lot, but there have been times we have had to buy back in, and kind of keeps it interesting. I have a feeling one, maybe two of us will probably have to buy back at some point this season, just because the season's so long, and I'm sure that we're going to try to, it's going to get a little funky as this goes. So we have a couple outstanding. We have one for the first person to get the exotic out of Warlord's Ruin. We have Crota. I think it was time on Crota whenever we get to run that raid again. Sadly, we haven't. I don't think we ran it this entire season yet. Maybe one time. So, what I propose this week is the person that has the most deaths. So, our Star-Crossed Legend run, the person that has the most deaths just loses 1,000 glimmer. So we have like 2 or 3 outstanding, and this will allow us to kind of get something kind of quick. That way we have a winner and everything, and it doesn't carry over. So current glimmer count. 1 second, please. I'm a bad host and don't have this pulled up. Chad has 14,000. I have 8,000. Jared has 8,000 as well. So they're still kind of tight. Chad's got a little bit of a lead. I don't remember what Chad hit so well on, but I'd much rather be in Chad's position than my position currently. So, do you guys have anything else you wanted to like add or anything as far as coming through with like this week? Like, was that enough? You thought 1,000?
Yeah.
I think that gambling corner is still tough. I also don't remember where I won recently to get to the point that I'm
One
at.
of them was like a time on Warlord's Ruin.
Oh, no,
And
makes
then
sense.
I think like maybe kills or something like that.
Okay.
Pretty much, Chad's just he's the best around. So, hopefully one day I'll get to be like Chad. But saying that, it is time for the ad break. So, as Jared mentioned, how it all got started. So, a couple years ago, I was like, "Hey guys, you guys want to do a podcast about Destiny?" And you guys are all like, "Yeah, that sounds great." And I opened my mouth and said, "I'll do all the stuff that nobody knows how to do in regards to like recording and uploading and editing and honestly, it's kind of all the stuff that I always wanted to learn how to do, but just never had a good reason to do it." They both agree. Chad's always telling us about the war and everything along the way, and Jared was always talking about point blah 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 buffs and these types of things, and I was like, these guys are perfect. We've been pretty good buds for a while as well. So I go out and I start looking, and I'm like, I need something that's just easy for me because I don't know what I'm doing to start with. Do some Google searching and find Zencaster. And Zencaster is it's been just absolutely a godsend for us, and as far as the like podcast thing goes, you get on the website. It's all website based. You hop in and you do everything all in one spot. It's kind of like a nice one spot place you can go, and it makes it recording it easy. You get high quality audio, like studio quality audio, and you are able from there to host. They actually also host, so you are able to. You don't have to record on one site and host on another site and this and that. So all that's kind of stopped and taken away, and it just real honestly, it just makes everything easy. It makes you sound great. You sound like you know what you're doing. There's no ums, there's no ahs. All that stuff's removed. It makes my volume the same as Jared's volume, the same as Chad's volume, and it's kind of like an all-in-one stop. So, to share with you guys, if you go to zencastr.com/pricing, zencastr.com/pricing, and use our code DestinyCCPod, you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. That way you guys can have the same easy experiences that we do for all of our podcasting and content needs. So get out there, share your story, and tell us what podcast you start, and that way we can listen to it, because we will. And like I said, the past couple of weeks, we'll probably even shout it out on here as well, you know? So we want everybody to succeed. So whenever we first got this, I sent Chad over to the website, and I was like, Chad, tell me what this looks like whenever you go. So Chad, do you care to share like what they can expect to see?
Yeah, so once you go to the link that Brian just gave you, it'll send you to a pricing matrix. You'll see all of their plans, everything that is involved, all the stuff that you get per each pricing and increasing. And then if you keep scrolling down, you'll see a little spot where you can put in the coupon code Destiny CC Pod, and then it'll change the pricing right then and there. No need to put in any credit card information. No need to keep on clicking into new menus and pretend you're going through with the purchase. It's all very transparent and really easy.
So once again, if you go to zencastr.com, zencastr.com/pricing, enter the code DestinyCCPod, you will get that 30% off your first month plan. Also, there is a link in, excuse me, in the description of the podcast on whichever podcast service, like if it's Spotify, iTunes, all that. There's one there. There's also one in the YouTube video, so you can follow that there. Just try to make it easy. Zencastr.com/pricing, code DestinyCCPod.
All right, that takes us to our 3 likes and dislikes of the week. I'll go ahead and go first with my like, and that's just going to be completing the seasonal mission. Like, was it 55 steps this season? Like that seasonal quest.
Yeah,
I like completing that. Yeah, and just getting it out of the way, and it's not staying in your inventory for 10 weeks, waiting for wondering when it's going to complete.
That was a good one. Mine is Warlord's Ruin. As I vowed to do, I did use Fireteam Finder and hopped in. I thought, man, this is probably going to be a little bit of a nightmare because it's still new-ish. And got in there. I think the team I was with, we beat it in like 38 minutes, start to finish. So I was like, oh, people, I don't know if I got just a great team. You know, I didn't go to like a LFG site. I just did like the in-game Fireteam Finder. And it was micless. I don't even think there was really any like chat, like text box chat or anything. Everybody just kind of went in and did their thing. So The most confusing part was shooting clockwise or counterclockwise. Like that was the hardest part to communicate to the other players.
That's pretty good. It's definitely a very user-friendly and first-person friendly dungeon with a good story, so it's a good start for everybody. My is that Crow's gone out of the tower, or out of the helm. He's gone. He's no longer there. Talking about stuff, making notes. I hear whispers in the back of my helm when I load in. It's just Crow there in the corner, talking to himself. The lore was great. The reasons and everything were really good. And I'm definitely happy about that. But my dislike is that Riven's gone. I was hoping she'd disappear at the end of the season. I thought all this was going to happen like at the very, very end as the finale, so she'd still hang out as the vendor. No. It's just a symbol in the room with the wall. Makes me a little sad, but whatever. It is what it is.
I was kind
of surprised when I saw that. Yeah. Sorry. I think we had the exact same thought. Were you were surprised as well?
Yeah, I thought she would like stick around for a while, but
I was surprised that they were able to have two different like instances to where like one with her, one without her.
yeah.
I assume that's why you have to enter a portal in order to get to Riven. That would be
that would make
my
sense.
guess.
Well, the helm is its own thing anyway, so what we'll have to do is I'll have to load in with like someone that hasn't done the story and see if she's still in there.
Yeah, I imagine my other
because sometimes it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the story on all three of my characters.
You've already done it on all three.
Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, I wanted
You're a
out of the way.
monster. Yeah.
Well, I stay up to date on all my characters, so
Yeah, that makes a difference.
yeah. But having to solo Starcross twice because I wasn't using Finder was kind of annoying.
Is there a reason you don't use Finder?
I just haven't used it yet. My LFG scars are still there. I know that it's definitely not as bad. I know that LFG isn't as bad as it used to be. We're not on the Xbox. We're not around all that toxicity, so I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. I did load it up once and was trying to find a team just to fill out a team and just get it done, but like I looked at it, I'm like, oh cool, and right before I clicked on it, it filled up. So I'm like, oh okay. So I went to the bathroom, hung out, saw another post. I tried to click on it, same thing. It filled up, and I'm like, wow, okay. So people are actually really using this. That's good. But now I'm sad because I don't have anyone to do it with.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of the bad part. Is like, it doesn't. People don't wait around for their buddies to get on now. You can kind of just hop on there, and it. I have more luck with it out of matchmaking. I run like 2 full runs of the coil each week usually. That's kind of like, with my amount of playtime that I have, that's like the one thing that I can pretty consistently get done. That or like a Warlord's Ruin, something kind of to that effect is what's easiest for me, and it's been really nice for that.
My dislike of the week is 4 more months or 5 more months. It's going to be a long time till June, and I'm not looking forward. Like, we're going to try to bridge the gap with some going back and doing some of these older raids, but man, it's still going to be a very long time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while, but we're doing our best. We're doing try to keep it fresh and entertaining and see how it goes. My dislike is that kind of in the vein of Jared's, Crucible's just not real fun right now, and Crucible is the thing that can keep the game going whenever like there's lulls in content or delays in content, things like that. Crucible is the thing that can kind of keep everything moving along at a good pace, and I personally don't think Crucible's in a great spot at the moment.
Yeah, I kind of wish like they would settle in on this checkmate playlist and just make that the norm. Like whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And quit giving people
Yeah, I
so
would,
many different options to play. Like we don't have.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. There's
Yeah,
That's
not
one
that
of the
people
arguments
playing.
you've had for a long time. Is we don't have the population to split it up between 8 different playlists.
Yep.
So it's the reason they don't run Banana and
Trials.
Trials at the same time, because they just don't have the people.
And it's unfortunate. Like I wish there was enough people that we could do that. And there was at one point, but you know, it's just not at that point now. All right. Do we have any weapons to break down this week, Jared?
No weapons this week.
I believe that takes us to. Is it wartime?
Yep.
I think it is. That's pretty fast. No half-baked take this week. Lore, I'm gonna try to save the lore book that we just finished so that people have an extra week to finish off the story and get settled in. Because the lore book just completely dropped for the one you get for the storyline. So we're gonna go with the literal last 2 things that I have that are items with lore for this entire season that aren't lore books, and that is the dawning ship and the ghost shell from the dungeon. So 2 little snippets of stuff that just are the last 2 things I got for non-lore book related things. So we're gonna start off with the dawning ship. Hyra Hodos. Queen Marasov of the Reef walks the wall tonight, faintly lit by the city's celebrations. This high up, the wind pulls at her cape, beckoning her farther along. The streets below, along with throng with celebrants, the wake awoken among them. Earthborn, reefborn, light-bearers all gleam twilight in Mara's mind. The celebrations tonight are for the city. Mara has no wish to make herself a place in them. Instead, she walks alone and thinks of her first night of ascents. It had trickled upwards to Mara from her people, a folk holiday that eventually turned into an institution. It took decades to settle into its current form, a journey through the dark on the anniversary of the awoken exodus from the distributary. On that first night, Jur had blown in like a breeze, banging the door open, equipped as always with sturdy boots and her longbow, ready to bully her queen outdoors. She had led Mara by the hand, laughing and laughing. Mara had led her. As they walked, sure were the strides of a tall woman used to outdoor work. Mara had the pace of a leader who primarily focused on cognitive action. The difference often slipped Sir's mind. "Slow down," Mara had said as they neared the gates of the watchtower. "I could carry you." "Don't," Mara retorted too hastily, not stern enough to put off a woman like Sir either. Mara hurried through the gate before she could be picked up, Sir lunging after her, shouting, "But my queen, my heart's calling is to serve you." The night continued on as they walked the asteroids side by side and through space's endless night. Reliving memories of that first journey to the reef, escaping the missiles that followed them through the wormhole, the giddy adrenaline and cool calculation needed to make it to their home. Despite the cold of the thin air, Sir radiated warmth. Enormous, laughing, alive. It was Sir's hand on her that Mara remembered most in later years. One moment tugging at Mara towards the climb, the next supporting Mara through a gully like most courtly of knights. For many years, it was Sir at her side during the night of ascents. Other years, Uldren, eager to show Mara some new vista, some ancient treasures along the way. Twice, Riven, inspecting their masterwork together on long walks through the dreaming city. In the reef and the dreaming city, Mara's people celebrate together. Remember their history, enact it, making it new, returning it to life. Now she watches over the awoken below, celebrating another holiday in a city with traditions its own. And Mara walks alone between the city and the dark outside. Now moving into the ghost shell, Zira's shell. Cold swept down from frigid mountaintops against already old stones of dark-aged castle. Winter slicked the ramparts as night fell across the European expanse. Naeem stood at long and narrow bridge, helmet shielding her face from deafening wind and stinging snow. She'd left her blood-stained fingertips in old Russia, gone west, until they no longer called her warlord. Here, she had heard the Lightbearers hunted and felled the dragon. Maybe some of its magic remained, enough to start anew. She followed the whispers through the storm and the rubble, ran her fingers over scars in the stone. This was the place the old warrior had told her to go, and so she pressed deeper into the keep until the whispers turned to words and the bones of a great beast laid at rest before her eyes. She approached the skull at the center of the skeleton. Dragon. Ahamkar. The language that filled the room ceased to be ambient. Their attention focused on her. They grew desire from her heart and passion from her blood. She spoke as if by instinct. I wish for your kindness. The whispers twisted into a hissing laughter. She almost felt the skeleton's anticipation vibrating through its dry, hollow marrow. Then it spoke to her. Kindness? There is so little left, and the cost so high. The gulf between your want and your reality. This is truly what you wish for? I've spent my power poorly, like you, to survive. That is why they hunted us, killed us. Naeem stepped forward slowly. Would you rather be loved than feared? The Ahamkar bones were silent in consideration. I know the Lightbearer who slew you. I know you respect their determination, Naeem pressed. Grant me kindness. Let us share that kindness. Let us make them love us as much as we were feared. The voice focused again. Charity does not sate my hunger. Then do not be charitable. Let me face the debts of your wishes, while those who benefit live freely. The voice hissed and cackled. You would take their debts upon your head. I have so many lives to give, as the weight of their debts. Naeem placed a hand on the skull. Your wish is granted. I'm hoping we get more from that dungeon. Even if it's just a little thing here or there, a little mention on a weapon here or there.
Yeah.
Maybe of different wishes that were granted by the dragon. Because that definitely left it on like a note of, hold on, she's gonna take the monkey paw for everyone.
Oh, okay.
That's what she said. She said, let me be the one that takes the heat. Everyone else should live normal. So that was definitely, I really hope we get some little snippets here and there about that.
Right. Yeah, I didn't even, until you said that, I guess I'm just dumb. That wasn't even like how I interpreted that to be. Yeah, so hopefully whenever we come back in, the next 4 months, week after week after week, we have at least something, a little tweak or something to be able to come through, like a tweak in content or like maybe content delivery or a content schedule to where we are able to have some more lore. Just something, it don't have to be much, just a little something, little taste. Keep us going.
All right, that is it for lore this week. I moves on to the mailbag. First question of the mailbag: thoughts on Star-Crossed Exotic Catalyst Loop? Overall, it's pretty typical. In my opinion, we kind of are used to this so far. You got to do it, 3 weeks on Legend to complete the Catalyst. How do you
loot.
Then
extra
you get
chest
the
is
ramps
excellent.
at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I literally watched the ramp load in. I was sitting there waiting. But no, there's so many red borders in the during the quest to get the exotic that they're free. I think you basically get 2 or 3 red borders per legend run during the quest. So that's awesome. That's full exotic quest, I think you're getting 2 weapons done fully, and then a little bit into a third one. And there's only 4, right? There's only 4 different Vex weapons, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's really good.
All right. Question 2. What of the exotic rotator missions is your favorite / least favorite?
Ooh. I think we can all agree that the Vex one, or the Vex Network one for Vex Caliber,
Yeah.
is our least favorite.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. And I tell you what, Hawkmoon that one wasn't real fun either.
Oh no, it's different because it's like you drops you in the Thunderdome with enemies that don't immediately blow you up to death. Unlike Vex Caliber, which literally puts a bunch of enemies that shoot explosive and payload at you, and you have to drop into a hole. Like, oh no, that's horrible. It's just not a fun time.
Now, your favorite? I mean, for me, it's Presage. I think that's awesome. And then after you did it for, was it 10 weeks? The Crown of Sorrow was at the bottom of the
Yeah.
mission.
Yeah, that was
definitely
pretty rad.
super cool. I think that's the longest lore exotic mission that we have so far, because this one looks like it's going to take 5 weeks for it to fully be done.
Okay.
But for Presage, you were finding like a thing every week for 10 weeks. So it's and then Vex Caliber, you just beat it. It doesn't add any kind of lore or nothing to it. There's that snippet at the end where in Vex Caliber where you see the veil in the Vex network, so that the Vex were trying to simulate it, which is like scary, but also like most players don't have the context for why that's scary,
Right.
Oh,
which is fine.
yeah.
We have you though. So you just let us know. You let dummies like me know. So I appreciate it.
No dummies.
It's all right. It's all right to be a dummy. There's nothing wrong with being a dummy.
True.
People can always go from uncultured to cultured. It's not an issue. They can. It's fine.
People can get better.
Yeah.
All right, question 3. What is the best way to talk to your friend into playing Destiny? Don't tell them you play Destiny. Let them discover it on their own. I mean, I would say if you played right now, there's 3 free raids with Crota, and then Kingsfall, and then the original
Atheon.
Atheon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the dungeons they're not all free, right? You have to do something.
Yeah, Prophecy's free.
Shattered
free.
Throne is not free.
No,
You
'cause
have
it's
to
part
have
of
the
Forsaken,
Forsaken pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, find the dungeon you like the best, and give them a key.
Ooh,
You know?
that's a good call.
And then, because dungeons, it's easier to get somebody into a 3-man activity than a 6. Noted by the fact that this is a 3-man podcast and not a 6. Very easy. So if you find a dungeon, like if they're like, I really like this enemy type, and you're like, okay, cool, you like the Vex, let's get into a Vexy dungeon. I know exactly where we're going. And then make it work. But give them a key. It's gonna cost you like $20. They got the game for free. Give them a thing that they want to play with you. And then you'll have fun. And if they don't like it, if they end up not being big fans, and whatever. Find another game you guys can play. It's fine.
I would say catch a sell on the DLCs. Like if you really want a homie to play with you and you're willing to spend like $20, catch like a good sell on the DLCs, and just pick them up for them, and then they're probably gonna have a little bit of like, oh, they bought this for me, I need to play it with them. But you know, you don't have to start. You know, you can catch like Lightfall. I would recommend the newest content first, as opposed to the older stuff. So like Lightfall, you can catch it on sale for like $20, you know, and they don't need to necessarily have like the deluxe edition with all the previous season passes and stuff. I mean, if you catch a good sale on it, it's obviously worth it, because that's going to open up like all those activities in the helm for them to do or whatever. So like that would be the ideal, but you know, sometimes it's easier to make a $20 investment instead of a $40 investment, as far as like what your like comfort level is of just like your impulse purchase price. You know, it's a lot easier for me to spend, like I'll spend $20 on anything, but you get up to 40 and I'm going to be like, well, I probably shouldn't, you know.
Yeah, and spending $20 to play a game with the homie, like you would do that for an indie game or anything like that that has multiplayer, and you're like, hey man, let's play this, let's do that. It's $20. I got you a game. It's like, oh cool, yeah, I'll play that. You know, it'll be a fun time.
All right, best wing flavor. I assume we're talking about food here. I'm just going to say hot barbecue. I've got
Hot
20 of them in the
barbecue.
fridge for after this after this podcast. So I've been thinking about them for a while, not going to lie. So.
Classic buffalo, like just a touch spicier than classic buffalo is my favorite right now.
Okay. I'm down with that.
I'm a big lemon pepper guy. I love lemon pepper. I'm still new to the wing game. I'm not super duper big on them. Plus they're expensive out here in Cali, man. We do have a B-dubs, but it's not in a super convenient place for me. So.
How far away is it?
It's, let's see here. I think if I got off at a certain stop, it's like a mile walk. And get to it.
I don't know. That's a.
You know.
I understand.
I haven't
Not
checked
very
the brew
convenient.
group.
At all. Yeah.
Do you have Wingstop out there?
I hear good things about Wingstop, but can't vouch for it
I have
personally.
as well, but not in my area.
Okay. It's
I know that there's one like in between me and work, but it's like in a weird spot that isn't like actually in between it. It's like if I took a different route, it would be, but I don't take that route. But let's see. So yeah, lemon pepper is a definite yes. Regular buffalo. I'll have to see if they have a hot barbecue. Is it a B-dubs thing?
yeah, but
Yes.
there's other spicy
Yeah.
barbecue sauces out.
Yeah. But I mean, if Ryan's recommended the B-dubs one, I'm gonna have to try the B-dubs.
Oh, dude, that
Um,
B-dubs hot
It's-
barbecue is
and then there's
fire.
there's a wing place by my work that we sometimes order for like for our department. They have what they call dirty ranch, which is just their in-house ranch mixed with their buffalo sauce.
Yeah.
It's good.
Dirty ranch.
We're good. Yeah, it's just like a mix. So it's like you already dunked your wings into the ranch. It's pretty great. And then you just dunk them again in the ranch.
All right, I think it's time for the random number
Yes, sure
this
is.
week. All right, so we are going to do, as always, 3 on the third one is the number. What's your guys' number?
28.
That was a chimera. It must be the
24.
avatar.
62 for our homie Stu. Click 1, click 2, and it is 4. 4. The number is 4. If you hit number 4, make sure you tweet us at Destiny CC Pod. Tell us that you hit the number. There might be a prize for you. So that's the end of the show this week. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Destiny CC Pod. Send us special friend requests so we can play games together. You know, have fun. Just this game's not life or death right now. Get in, do your stuff, get out, play other games. Don't burn yourself out. Don't be in March and April hating this game so much that you don't want to play the new content when it comes out in June. So I'm gonna let these other two guys sign off.
So, Destiny is dead right now, should I say? But we'll make it alive
Content-wise.
by doing fun stuff together as a group. So if you want to do fun stuff together, hit us up.
Yeah, and if you have any lore questions, I need help. We're gonna have a lot of months where there's gonna be nothing, and there's not a lot of lore based on the witness. So I'm gonna need, if you guys have questions or things you want to go deep dive into, I'm more than happy to do that. If I know about it already off the top, super awesome. If I have to do a deep dive, even better. I'd rather look into the books and do some research.
All right. Don't forget, this would be a very good week to check out our YouTube channel. I think you will be in for a nice surprise if you do. As always, go Cats. Love you guys.